Yo! This is Botionmit with another fashion set for you guys. This one is for Tidus from Final Fantasy X, also known as Final Fantasy X among people who do not know what Roman numerals are. Now for this set, I used the Lagiacrus Blade, Sword Saint Earring, Droth Male S, Bucccaneer Gloves, Creatures, freaking Tourettes. Where was I? Bucccaneer Gloves J, Chrome Metal Coil, Dynaqlo Cargo Pants. And for people who are wondering why I just yelled creatures and then said freaking Tourettes, it's because I have Tourettes and occasionally lose control of my body and say strange things. Now I could re-record this, but Tourettes is part of the fun, so we're gonna continue. Oh, and then style and arts. I used guild style because I'll talk about that later. And then I had absolute readiness and absolute evasion because I don't know how to dodge when I'm using a greatsword. Actually, I don't know how to dodge in general, but we'll just pretend that it's the fact that I don't know how to use greatsword, and we'll just use that as an excuse. Okay, Lagiacrus Blade. I use this because it is close to the look of, I want to say the name of the sword is the Brotherhood or something like that. It's the one that he uses on the cover art of the game. And so that's what I went with. You could use other weapons if you wanted. He has a lot of different swords throughout the game, so you could use one that just kind of reflects the look of one of those if you wanted. But I thought using the cover art sword was appropriate. It's not too difficult to farm as long as you know how to fight Lagiacrus. You have to cut off the tail, you have to break horns and stuff to get the parts that you need, but it's not too terrible to farm this up. Now for the style, guild style versus one of the other styles, I thought about using one of the other styles, but like he doesn't do a whole lot of like jumping in the game, so I didn't think aerial style was appropriate. Adept style, I didn't think he was like super good at dodging compared to other characters. I think most of the time when something attacks him, he gets hit by it. That's just kind of how Final Fantasy works, maybe, but I didn't think Adept style was a good choice. The other one would be Striker style, but I think Striker style would be more appropriate for someone who is more like combat oriented, like story wise. I think story wise, he's not like a just Striker style. This didn't seem appropriate. So I just went with guild style. It seemed to fit his character more than any of the other styles. And then for the arts, I didn't think there's anything that was like that super stood out. But I guess especially when he does Blitzball, he can do some like weird aerial acrobatic, well not aerial, aquatic acrobatics. So I brought that into his fighting style with a greatsword by throwing down absolute readiness and absolute evasion. So that was kind of my thought process behind the style and the art selection. It had nothing to do with the fact that I can't dodge using a greatsword. That had everything to do with that. So onto the armor that I'm using the Sword Saint Earring, Droth Male S, Bucccaneer Gloves J, Chrome Metal Coil, Dynaqlo Cargo Pants, in case you forgot, like I did. Now the Sword Saint Earring, if you don't know how to get that, you have to clear all of the arena quests. I would just like grab a friend or maybe try to find somebody online if you have no friends who play Monster Hunter. Or if you just have no friends in general, then that's sad. But that's neither here nor there. That's how you get the Sword Saint Earring. If you don't have it, you can also use like the Chakra Earring or like a Hayabusa Feather. Those are all good options. A Hayabusa Feather, if you don't know how to get that, you have to like clear all the village quests. Or I think maybe not the Palico quests and maybe not all of the advanced quests, but it's a time-consuming thing to get, more so than the Sword Saint Earring. Droth Male S, you kill Droth. Not too difficult to get. The Bucccaneer Gloves J and the Dynaqlo Cargo Pants. are from the newest DLC. Um, the Buccaneer gloves are from the Hyper Lavasiath. And then the Dynaqlo cargo pants, there's a DLC quest where you have to fight 2 Astalos. I believe it's from that. Um, so neither of those is too terrible. Hyper Lavasiath is actually pretty easy to fight. And the 2 Astaloses, I mean, they're not hyper, so if they were hyper, it would be a little bit more difficult, but they're not. So it's fairly easy. And then Chrome Metal Coil. So nothing too difficult to farm up. And it's a pretty easy set to use if you know how to use Greatsword. And then the skills that are on this set are Mind's Eye, which is just from the earring, Fast Charge, and Rationer. Or Focus, I should say. Focus is the active skill. And then Rationer. So Focus is useful. The other skills aren't as useful. Mind's Eye can be useful against things like Agnactor or anything that you would normally bounce against. Against a Khezu, it's not, but Focus is. Anyway, that is the set. Now I'm just trees. Now I'm trees. I have transformed my body. I am now a small forest. I am several trees. That's the Tourette's again, in case you couldn't gather that. Anyway, that is the set. I need to do something to regain control of my body, apparently. So I'm gonna go do that. And if you want, you can let me know what you think of this set. And I will see you next time with, I don't know what I'm gonna see you with. If it's gonna be another mixed set, or fashion set, or if it's gonna be a mixed set, or it's gonna be just some stupid video, but I'll see you eventually with something. Peace out.